Welcome to another edition of the Man Cave, where we give our opinion on just about everything. Today we got another banger show, man. Come on, we got these bangers in a row. Not that we ever had any duds. Only dud show we had was the one Art came up with. But anyway, um, today's show is gonna be pretty interesting, and I didn't invite any ladies on this show on purpose because this is from a male's point of view. But before we get into the show, we gotta introduce the cast of characters. Fresh out of the bronchitis episode is Uncle Kelly up in the corner. What's up, Uncle Kelly?
Not too much. Good evening, gentlemen. How's everybody doing?
All right, brother.
Chilling. Fresh off the anniversary getaway is Uncle Damon, all relaxed and chilling and celebrating another year of marital bliss. What's up, Uncle Damon?
Fellas, what's going on? How y'all boys doing?
All right.
Continuing to broadcast from the brand new ride that you can't even hear walking down the street because the engine is so quiet, is Uncle Art, fresh with the gun, fresh with the cigar and the cigarette. What up, Uncle Art?
Yeah, what it is. What's up to all my necklace in the world today? I want to say hello to everybody. I want y'all to get out there, make you some cornbread, get you some oxtails, and get on down. That's what I'm talking about. That's right.
Oh my.
Well, you
That's that DJ voice, ain't it?
Oh, that's the DJ from what, the 70s, 73?
Yeah, Wolfman Jack or something.
Oh,
We got a guest host, fresh from the last episode, a member of the band Righteous. We want to give a shout out to my boy Chris Tuck. I was going to say Chris Just. Chris Tuck from the band Just Right. Welcome to the show, bro. Thanks for being a part of this new one.
Appreciate it, y'all.
All right, so brothers, today our topic is the role of a stepfather. The role of a stepfather. Every one of us have been affected directly by stepfatherhood. And first, before we get into the facts and figures and all of that, I just kind of want everybody to go around and talk about your experience that you've had with a stepfather. All right, let's start with Damon.
Well, I was raised by a stepfather.
How was that experience?
It was different.
Different than what?
It was different because I took a lot of things in the wrong perspective. My father he went to court, never really wanted to be bothered because my stepfather stepped up and said, "Don't worry about it, you ain't gotta do nothing, I take care of him." So my stepfather was in my life ever since I was 6 months old, and he married my mother when I was 2. So being raised by a man that's not biologically linked to you, albeit he didn't show signs of it, I figured it out when I got a little older and I had a conversation with my mom about it. I took it to the effect of, well, I'm not really his. He ain't really got to do nothing for me, you know. And because his dad taught him the ultimate way of taking care of your family is to work, he never showed up in any football or basketball games. That I took that on the pessimistic side, not looking at it from where he came from. Yeah. Because he was raised to work. That's all my father did. Aaron, you know that. That's all he ever did. Work. He was the ultimate provider. So in that sense, everything else to me seemed a lack.
Mm-hmm.
And because it was a lack, I took it as if he didn't want to be bothered with me when that was the furthest from the truth.
Yeah.
So that's why I said it was different. I took something and rolled with it the wrong way.
Ah.
After talking to Daddy after he got sick, he told me all the stories about when he first saw me and how he figured. He said, "I can't love that woman without loving who's attached to her, that beautiful child. I can't do that. I would never not do that."
Mm-hmm.
So talking to him and realizing where he came from,
Mm-hmm.
I gained way more respect for him.
Okay.
The respect level went through the roof because he was sitting in one seat and I was sitting in another, and we both never really got a chance to talk about it till I was a grown man.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? I never really talked to my father like that. And
Mm.
now we were close, but now we are super close. So it's a different thing when you got to look at it from a perspective of that man trying to love the woman he with, but he's trying to figure out how can he love the child
Right.
in
Right.
my dad's perspective.
Right.
So that's what made it different.
I got a bunch of questions for you as the person being raised, but I'm gonna hold them. I'm gonna write them down so I won't forget it because
Okay.
I'm 50. So, all right. So coming from a child being raised by a stepfather, we gonna move over to Chris Tuck because he also has an experience with a stepfather. What's your experience, Chris?
Terrible.
Oh wow.
Ooh.
Um, I had my daddy passed away when I was a junior in high school. Me and my dad was like this. And it seemed like once I got this stepfather in the mix, everything was cool. He came to my basketball games, my football games. Um, it's being a father when it came to sports, but that was the character of it. That was the image that was being shown outside of the house.
Mm.
But inside the house, I worked. I was, like I said, I was a junior, and I was also not just going to school and playing sports, but also going to work part time to save money up. That's how my real father raised me. To stack my bread, be ready for the future, and for college. And inside, I basically had to provide for myself, unless my moms did cook. But my mom's, uh, she was strong on him, and I liked them, but there were some things that was just strange. Always gone on the weekends, always traveling on the weekends, but was there during the week.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Two families.
to come to find out that he was living a double life. But before that, I remember one day he brung up a red two-door Escort, and talking about, "This is yours, son." I'm like, "I bet." Got in everything, like, okay, I got this, let's get it. Driving to school, everything. I ain't know nothing about cars. I ain't know nothing about putting oil changes and nothing. So y'all already know I was running that bad baby to the ground. You know what I mean? But come to find out, they sit me down after 30 days talking about, yeah, we had this discussion about you paying a car note.
Ooh.
Huh? Car note. Yeah. Paid it. I need you to pay this car note. Dude, but I'm saving myself for college. Mind y'all, back in the day, college tuition wasn't as bad as it is now. College tuition a semester was $1,200 a semester. Y'all know what it is now. It's through the roof.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I was kind of able to afford it then, you know what I'm saying, trying to stack my bread. And, it's just things I experienced, man. And, I always thought about like my mama just didn't want to be lonely, and he knew that.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like you act like you there for me to win me over, but then you still doing my mom's dirty. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, I didn't have a good experience with that, man. I felt like you trying to say you was there as a stepfather, but you also was that wall that was blocking me from what my goal was. I knew what my goal was. You're taking money out of me. You act like I'm just in the house sitting there not doing nothing, but I'm going to school working, and you still take it from me. You know what I'm saying? And I know there's stepfathers out there, mothers out there that's like, hey, when you work, give me the money, and when you give them the money, they're putting it up for you. To teach you responsibility, but at the same time, they putting the money up for you for when you get to that point to move out, they have it saved for you. That wasn't the case at all.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? So then come to find out, man, I come home one day and my mama crying to me, talking about she didn't talk to his wife before. Now, mind you, he got married to my mama while he was still married to the other wife.
Oh
wow.
So come to find out, I move back in. I come in and she crying to me, telling me like I ain't found out. I ain't talked to the other, talked to the other wife, and he's still married. He ain't been going out of town. He been going back to the east side this whole time. So to me, I had a bad. Coming from my dad that took care of me, showed me the way, made sure, hey, you don't go outside till you finish your homework. You better read a book before you go out. You know what I'm saying? Showed me you better suit up. I thought all that was crazy. Suit up, put on some nice shoes, all this, and that dress took him, impress. He was preparing me, but I didn't understand.
Yeah.
Now I understand now. To come from that to that stepfather, nah. That's how my experience.
Wow. Man, I got 1,000 questions for you, but I got to save them till we get everybody in.
My bad. My bad.
No, that was pretty cool. That was pretty cool because I didn't know. The rest of us have been or are stepfathers. And so Kelly, what's your experience about being one? And have you ever had one?
I still claim my steps. I got 2 stepdaughters by 2 different women. Okay.
Oh.
And one of them stayed with me. Y'all know that one.
Wow.
So, my last marriage, that one is with me now.
So you taking care of a lady that you had nothing to do with her being in the world.
Right. Now, granted, I've been around her since, oh my God, 2005, something like that. But I'll do whatever I can for them.
So the obvious question is, what made you house a person that's not your biological?
Because I love her.
Oh.
I consider her as my child. You know, I mean, there's no other way to look at it. Because if you're gonna jump in those shoes, you got to jump hard. You know, you going full force or nothing, no matter what.
Yeah.
That's the way of life. She ain't got nothing to do with it. It ain't her fault.
Yeah.
You know, that she's a stepdaughter, hell, she ain't had nothing to do with that.
Right.
Just like a kid ain't got nothing to do with what goes on anyway.
Yeah.
A man and a woman. You take care of that child as it's yours, regardless.
So what about the other one? Where's the other one?
The other one, she stays out in Canton.
Okay.
Got her own place. She's 22. Oh, 22 too. Ooh, 22 my ass. She'll be 26 in January. I'm sorry. And, she's doing good though. They're all doing good.
So what is your experience like relating to your stepdaughters or your daughters?
Relating to, just like any other conversation.
So it's been pleasant. It's been a good experience.
Oh yeah. I have conversations with my daughter now, the one that's here with me, more than I had with my own kids.
Wow.
Because she's here with me now. She's with me on a daily basis.
Yeah.
So it's things that she my own kids won't come to me.
That's a testament of your fatherhood, man. When a girl wants to stay with you, when she got two other parents out there, I'm assuming,
Yeah.
that could be choices, and she chose to stay with you.
When you step up to be a man,
Yeah.
there are no boundaries.
Right.
There are no boundaries. You got to do what a man is supposed to do.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
you brothers that's done had stepfathers and they done, went wayward on y'all. My heart goes out to you.
Right.
It's totally ridiculous for any man to want to do that to any child, not just even his own, of course, his own.
Right.
But for a stepchild, no, come on, man. They ain't got nothing to do with that.
So Art, we know that you when you got married, your wife had she had a child that made you that step parent. How was your experience being a step parent, and have you ever had a stepfather?
No, I never had a stepdaddy. In my experience, it's just the same as with the other children.
Mm-hmm.
You care about them, you want the best for them, you teach them everything you know.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Mm-hmm.
it was what it was. It didn't even really per se feel like I was somebody's stepdaddy. All I knew was that I was responsible for him.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And that's really as simple as it is for me. Like Kelly said, you just do what the hell you got to do. You do what you're supposed to do.
Right.
You don't go lay with no woman, and you don't play daddy.
Mm-hmm.
Ain't no play thing at all. And because when I was coming up, I had my pops, all the way through, man.
Mm-hmm.
And I know what he did for me,
Mm-hmm.
being like he was. So my understanding is every young man needed.
Yep.
So whoever's in my presence is gonna get it.
Yeah.
Just like my own. You know what
Wait,
I'm
what is
saying?
it? What is it?
Huh?
What is it?
They gonna get it. They gonna get what they need to get. Now I know, okay, open now.
You froze up, but I heard you. Okay. All right. Well, let me just
Yeah,
say this. Go ahead.
yeah, you think maybe the it meant the ass woman?
Yeah. Yeah. We gonna get to a whole category of that in a minute.
Of course, the it is all encompassing. Whatever the child needs,
Right.
whatever is required. You
Right.
know what I'm saying? And
Well, let me say this. My stepfather, step parenting was just the same as Chris's, but from the stepfather perspective. Mine was horrible. It wasn't 100% horrible. I'd say it was about 91% horrible because they came in when I married their mother, they were like 16 and 12. So they had a 16 and 12-year head start in being spoiled and enabled and all of that. And so they meet me, and I'm this iron curtain of order and discipline. And of course, you know, when you start, if a train hit a wall, everything is about to either explode or go topsy turvy. So I was all for it. So I kind of, and if I looking back, I gotta admit, looking back, one thing I would have done differently is I would have counted up the cost a lot more because I don't think I think when guys get married to women with children, they looking at the woman a little more than they looking at the children, and it makes them kind of blind to counting up the cost. But once I did it, I was in it to win it. I was just like, tell me what your ambitions are. I can help you. There's rules here. I'm not trying to beat you down. I'm just saying there's rules. But once my rules were broken, and we're gonna get into this, once my rules were broken and I didn't have that person to help me out, i.e. the wife, who would just do some backwards stuff in the discipline area, I was the odd man in, because I'm not gonna live in my house and go to a child and say, "Hey, your mama want the garbage out." Oh no, I can speak for myself. Take the garbage out. Your mom. I don't have to speak for your mama like she's the authority because the kid's gonna look at me like I'm one of them. But anyway, so we got two terribles and we got three good experiences. Now, one of the number one things that people that I've talked to, I interviewed about women about being a step dad to their children is you ain't gonna come in my house and touch my kids. You ain't gonna be hitting on my kids. What do you guys think about that? Well, let me go first. I ain't got no problem with choking up your baby. It depends on what your child is doing. Now, let me tell you a couple of examples of what this boy did when he stole out of the house. I had like 10, 12 pairs of basketball shorts because I used to play every week, every weekend. That's how I met you, Art, because I was blitzing you on the court. But anyway,
Man, you ain't shit. Don't even try.
so
I was raining threes on your ass, man. You don't shut your ass up. The only thing you did was lean your big ass on me and put a crook in my back. That's the only thing you did.
I was kicking your behind. But anyway,
Go to hell.
I had like 10, 12 nice pairs of gym shorts. They all disappeared. And he stole, of course, he was a notorious liar. He keyed up our cars. He called his mama B, all kinds of stuff like that. And I was supposed to just sit there and let her talk to him. Man, that dude felt the wrath that day, boy. And when I was hitting him for stuff he didn't even do. I was hitting him for stuff like the Fat Boys broke up. Shalimar, they don't make music no more. This frustration that I had.
Man, you did not say the Fat Boys and Shalimar.
Man. Man.
In the same breath.
Yeah. Stuff that I was already mad about. I was just like, I'm already mad. A black man killed Malcolm. That kind of stuff. But so we lasted 13 years because it was kind of like a give and take. Sometimes I wouldn't say a thing, but there was times where, and when I didn't say a thing, it would mount up. And when I got to the top, I exploded. So we'll save how it ended for later. So like Art, so when you got married and you had a stepson or stepson, did he give you some problems in the discipline department?
No, I can't really say that. You know what I'm saying? I can't really say that. He wasn't around here tearing up shit.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? He wasn't acting a total fool. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes young men, they go through things socially and, might go up there to the school and hash it out with the principal or whatever here and there. But, he wasn't no damn jackass.
Yeah.
As far as him being like disrespectful, it wasn't nothing like that. None of that type of shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, not at all. No way.
Okay. No. All right. What about you, Kelly? Any of your daughters, any major problems like this in discipline?
Not with my stepdaughters, but my own kids, yeah.
But your own kids?
My own kids.
Oh, okay.
I beat the hell out of all of them. My stepdaughters, no. I no disrespect at all. No nothing.
Okay. So
I really got lucky.
Yeah, you did, because you could have had a Shalimar moment.
Right.
But,
no, wait a minute.
Do not mention Shalimar no more.
Hey man, I had a crush on Jody Watley.
Jody Watley, my Shalimar moment with my oldest twin. How about that?
Jody Watley.
Yeah, man, I used to love Jody Watley, and then they broke up, so I couldn't see her no more. Anyway,
she didn't want to see you, no way.
Hey, she didn't have to. As long as I saw her,
So you was used to sit next to her poster at night, huh?
That's I ain't had to go there, man. I just appreciate beauty. She's pretty.
You bought that Jergens lotion, didn't you?
Or he said, "I think she's pretty." What's that movie say? I think she's pretty.
She's pretty.
So Damon and Chris, did you guys ever have some discipline coming from a stepfather?
I
what
did.
was that like?
Damon, you answer that first.
I didn't. Not really.
No.
I think it was one time. It was one time I can remember. Oh man. Yeah, it was one time. It was more so how can I put it? Just being stupid. Mm-hmm. And my father told me to do something. He never really had to say much to me. And you know how you want to test the water. Mm-hmm. And I tested the water and it burnt me. Mm. He hit me one time. My father's heavy-handed. Before he had got sick, his hands are small, but he heavy-handed. He got those Roberto Duran hands of stone type. You know what I'm saying? So when he hit me in my chest, I say, "Oh no, mas, I quit." I'm sorry.
So, what did your mama think about you getting hit in the chest by?
And how old were you, Damon?
Yeah,
I think I was around 14. Now my mama is and once again Aaron knows this, she's very, 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 very protective.
Yeah, she's protective, yes.
Very protective.
She's protective of my kids.
That's what I'm saying. She's very protective. So when that happened, she wasn't too thrilled. But when Daddy told her what happened, she was like, "Okay, I can't really say nothing if that's what happened."
Yeah.
So I didn't really have an issue. I didn't give my parents trouble like that as far as talk back, want to do all this and all that. And this, I didn't do that. I pretty much did what I wanted to do. And I was able to do it because I didn't talk back.
Yeah. They so you had no issue. That's what you saying. You spoiled as hell. That's what you saying.
No, I wasn't spoiled.
No, I don't think Damon was spoiled. I just think that the man has been in his life since before he even knew who he wasn't his father.
Right.
Unlike Chris, where a man comes in your life when you are a teenager, that's quite a difference. You got to learn him as a teenager. Damon, from the time his eyes was focusing, saw his stepfather.
Right. Well, I only said that because Damon kind of spoiled now, so that's all. That's why I said it.
I spoiled myself. I don't need nobody to spoil me. I spoil myself.
I hear that.
And my wife look out for me, but I mean, all right, you can't talk about spoiled. You sitting in the car smoking stogies and cigarettes.
Out his mailbox.
Because you know that woman ain't having no smoke in her house. How dare you go in the house and light a cigarette?
He the type, hey, cuz he the type to take his cigar and go run to sit down somewhere. I'm gonna smoke my stogie, and he go in the car and smoke.
Hey, Art.
So what? So what if I do?
What you say, baby? I ain't smoking.
Hey! What's that one episode when Art said, "I hope my wife hearing me. I hope you ain't about to do it this time, Art."
You know what? You know what, Chris? Ever since that episode, he been doing shows from the car.
As a matter of fact, you right, cuz.
You a lie. You a lie.
You right, cuz. Now that I think about it, you right.
We may have gotten one or two in the house.
Hey, I got one or two.
Okay, look.
Art, I told you I'm coming for you.
Hold on. I start doing my shit out here because sometime in the evening I like to have a stogie and I can't have it in the house. So this is why. If you notice, since then, usually I'm smoking a stove when we on. You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So that's what it's about.
Your wife said, "Look here, punk." If you come in here thinking you gonna smoke a stogie, I'm gonna slap blood from your mouth. Take your punk butt out there and get in there and get in that truck, smoke that dang on cigarette. As a matter of fact, take your gun and your Cavassier and your cigarettes.
And the ashtray.
Take it all outside, punk.
You know what? I would have had to whoop somebody's ass if that happened. I'm gonna tell you right now, I had to whoop somebody's ass.
And Myers.
You love your wife too much.
Myers, yeah.
You love your. You know what you said. You know what you said when your wife said that. Yes, Miss Daisy. That's exactly what you said.
Daisy,
you want me to get on out the house? I can go on outside if you want.
Hey, that's exactly. She say, "Look here, punk. You gonna go outside?" Yes, Miss Daisy. I go out. I'll be real good from now on, Mr. Case.
You know what? What I do in my house is my damn business. Okay, I just feel like
I said that earlier. Now you want to say that now, huh?
I don't hear. You once said on here, I will tell my wife. Oh, that's your fault.
Yeah.
I bet he won't smoke in the house. He won't take that camera in there and show us he's smoking the house, but he'll take that camera in there.
Look, no bullshit though. No bullshit though. In the morning time when I got to go sit down in there by myself, I got to have me one because it's like a laxative. It helps, you know. But other than that though, no, I don't smoke in the house. I don't want no trouble, you know.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Hey,
you definitely don't want no trouble.
The good thing is you admitted it. That's the first step.
Yeah, that's the first step. You admitted it.
All right.
Let me do it.
And what the hell the second step then?
Repeat the first step.
Hey, so let me do this, fellas. I know Chris got to tell us how the discipline was in his house, but it's a good segue for this little piece of video montage I put together, because I think what these kids went or these fathers went through is pretty indicative of what Chris went through. So check this out and we're going to discuss it afterwards.
Yo, I have not ever seen anybody embark on being a stepfather and it work out.
Son! Yo, son, what's up? What?
You're not my dad! You also want to hear something! Ugly ass fucking...
Haven't seen it.
Oh, look at Daddy.
He's not my dad, Mom.
Really, Ava?
He's not. My dad's in jail and I miss him.
Haven't seen it, young man.
Scared the fuck to me. You're the bitch on that. Oh, look, seriously. You got one more time to call me that. I'm serious. Very serious. You're not gonna do nothing. Don't call me that. You're not gonna do nothing. I said don't call me that. Do not call me that. You got no authority on me. You feel me? I don't like that word, so don't use it around me. You got that? What you want to do?
You know, you talk about living in a house with a woman and her kids, and those kids not respecting you.
Given to you by your mom.
Alex, look at your father.
Hey, first of all, don't even talk to him. You don't deserve to talk to him. While you're smoking a blunt, you're gonna talk to him.
This is going on Facebook Live. Everybody's going to see this.
I don't care. Facebook Live knows I'm an adult. You cannot smoke weed on my property.
This isn't your property.
Yeah,
I've been smoking right here for 10 years. 10 years.
I don't care, Rob. And every
fucking deal with it. Go back to Canada, bro. Go to Canada where it's legal.
What an asshole you are. Still talking to me like that. It doesn't matter if it's legal.
And man, what do you call me every day? What do you call me every day? You leave the house on fucking 85 degrees, so I die in my room. You don't talk to me. I'm scared to come out of my room because of you. No, leave me alone. I'm leaving. Go
What have I ever done to make you scared?
Just
by giving you rules, that scares you.
Ignoring now.
By having rules is to scare you. To ask you to graduate high school is scaring you. To ask you to pay bills is scaring you. To ask you to get a job is scaring you.
50% of all families are blended families. But there's also higher divorce in blended families, which isn't necessary. In first marriages or, first relationships, there's marriage and there's children. But in a blended family, there's children and there's marriage. Okay. And the priority of the relationship can get off to a bad start from day one. The children become first. Let me talk to you about this. Marriage is the nucleus of a family, not children. And children are a temporary assignment. They won't be there for a long time. They really won't. And I remember when they put our daughter into my arms, my son into my arms when they were born, and I remember when I put their arm in somebody else's because I did their ceremonies when I married them all. They're gonna grow up. Children are a temporary assignment. And how are they gonna succeed in marriage unless they see you succeeding in marriage? And the law of marriage, the first law of marriage is, for this cause a man will leave his father and mother. That means marriage has to be first. It doesn't work in any other place. It won't work as second. It can't be behind your children. Your children are not as important as your marriage.
You're already coming into a situation that was already going before you got there. So she's been parenting her way. She's been parenting her way, her rules, her say-so. And you as a man have to come in and deal with that.
Well, tell him, Christian.
No, you tell me. You talking about you grown and you gotta go somewhere. I told him, you don't understand, you ain't going no damn way. You go when you get ready.
Man, I just feel at some point you need to make your own way. That's what I be want to walk through the house naked sometime, and there you go. So I mean, what?
No, if anything, you can go, not him. How about that?
I want to pay all the fucking bills in here. How the you gonna tell me where I can go?
But the thing is, like, why do I gotta, this is my mama's house, like, why do I gotta leave my mama's house?
Period.
Man, you damn near 40 years old. Damn near it's time to go. I mean, at what point?
I'm 29, I'm not damn near 40.
Well, that's pretty 10
But
years
you know
away.
what? When I met you, you was living with your mama.
Man, please.
You
I
was
was
living
in
with
and out. Come
You
on,
was
man.
living with your mama.
I
Now
was
you
only
gonna tell
22
me.
years old.
Now you gonna tell me
Get out
because
of here.
he
No, I
29.
ain't getting up. I ain't getting up. I'm not getting up. I'm
Man,
not
you
going
got to
nowhere.
go.
I'm not going nowhere.
Yeah,
It's my house.
well,
And you ain't gotta go
You know
nowhere.
what? Damn it, I ain't gonna pay no bills either. Then, damn it. Now, how you feel about that? You don't want him to go? I won't pay the bills.
You gonna continue to pay
he
the
got
bills.
to go though, man. It's too much. See, we arguing and stuff about stuff.
But
You know what
at the
I'm
end of the
saying?
day, all you gotta do is tell me to help. Y'all ain't saying nothing. Like,
Man, you a
so
grown
y'all ain't
ass
saying
man. You supposed to know man, garbage overfill. You supposed to know to take that outside. Come on, man. I don't have to tell you all this stuff, man.
But the thing is, I'm barely here, so I'm barely making garbage. So why I gotta take the garbage out if I'm barely here? If I'm barely here, barely making garbage, barely making dishes, like, why I gotta do anything?
She gonna always make excuses for you, man. But
Right, he don't even be here. So what is you talking about? He don't be here like that. He come here,
Well,
he
when
sleep,
he's
and
here,
then he on
he needs
business
to
the
help
rest
out.
of the day.
When he's here, he needs to help out. He needs to do some things. He
Well, I
needs to
tell
be
you what,
productive.
he ain't paying no bills,
damn it,
and
he
he
gonna
ain't
start
gotta go.
paying some bills around
I
us.
ain't paying.
But
I
I
gotta pay.
I'd rather for him to
My
get the
mama,
fuck out.
but listen, my mama said I gotta pay no bills. I ain't paying no bills.
He gotta pay. What I want him to do is save his money and do what he needs to do with his money
You the whole reason
and
why
not
he is
pay
the way
no
he is,
bills.
because all this soft shit you bring it to him, he still got the titty in the mouth. You let
Oh,
all that
hell
stuff
no.
go on.
No, you know what I know? You jealous. You jealous of my son.
You would say
You
that.
jealous of my son.
Only you would say some bull
But I
crap.
don't know if you jealous or not, but I just know I ain't getting on my mama's house. Like, if I gotta get on my mama's house, you gotta put me on my mama's house at the end of the day.
Well,
Just
damn it,
at the end of the
I'm be carrying you out. You got to go.
Oh, you don't mean you want to carry
Ain't
him
got
out then if that's
no
the case.
problem with carrying them out. I just shoot them on out. And you,
Michael, now you know good and damn well I'm not kicking my son out.
what point
Yeah.
you expect
So
him
at
to
the end of the
go?
day, I ain't worried about it. Like, if at the end of the day, I'm here. I live here, so till I'm ready to get out, I'm gonna be here. So it don't
At
matter.
what point is you trying to? What's your plans for this man? What's
my plan is to stay in here as long as I need to stay in here. That's my
I mean,
plan.
what if he 45, 50?
And he gonna be 45, 50
No,
up
I'm
in here.
crazy as hell. Well, damn it, I'm gonna be out there.
Why?
No,
Why?
going. He's
Why?
going. He's going
Get
to
the
go
step
me.
in. Get the step in.
He's
Because
going.
this my only son. He ain't going nowhere.
That's what's
My
going on.
only son, shit.
You the one made him like this because yo weak ass.
You know
you
what?
made him.
Come and go. Your son is forever.
Man, I see what I'm saying.
You better go.
I see what I'm saying. That's
Right. And like
see,
I said,
you made him this way. You made him
No,
this way.
I ain't make him
This
this
is
way.
a product of your.
I ain't making this way.
This
Like
is a
I
product
said,
of
it
your
ain't like he
bad
don't.
decision, your bad choice.
It ain't like he don't know how to get out here. Like I said, when he ready to go, he can go.
Is it the right move to disengage when a young teen had stated that they will never consider you a parent? Disengage from them.
Well, I mean, believe it or not, I've seen that in a little bit at my house too, because we had, you know, we've actually had some therapy sessions about it. They were self-imposed, but I don't have money for a doctor, but I'll just sit you down and we'll have a therapeutic moment. But I just informed them that, you know, if you disengage, you know, I can disengage too. So why don't you take off the Air Jordans I bought you and take that sweatshirt off, and let's see how you feel naked. Talking to me as the person you're gonna disengage, because you can't disengage me when I'm making it happen for you. So unless you want to go to school naked and ride on that yellow bus naked with the other kids, and I suggest you start adapting to some of these rules around here. I mean, at one point in time, you know, at the end of the day, you're the adult and this is the child.
Mom, why are you talking? Why are you letting him talk to me? I'm just saying, this is our house, though, bro. This is not your house. Yes, bro. If she gonna be disrespectful to us, bro, she can go with that nigga, Mom, bro. Are you finna just let him talk like that? Yeah, bro. What you talking about? I'm gonna just let him talk like that, nigga. This is my house. This is our house, bro. You finna just let him talk to me like that?
I mean,
you finna let him talk to me like that?
I'm just saying it's
I'm your son.
But I'm just saying this is my house.
I'm not talking to you.
Hey, this is my house.
I'm not talking. Don't touch me.
Put your fingers
down.
Don't touch me. This is my house.
Don't touch me.
Bro, you better
don't touch me, cuz. Don't touch me.
Hey, bro, I'm not with all that talking, bro. What
I don't care what that talking. What are you talking about?
What are you doing, bro?
What are you doing? What are you talking about?
Bro, you see you getting this, bro. You better chill, bro. Bro, what the fuck is wrong with you, bro? What is wrong with you, bro?
Nah, it's good. It's good. Nah, it's cool. It's cool. It's cool. It's good. Stay with him. Stay with him. Mama, I want you to stay with him. And Mama, I want you to remember. No, it's cool. No, stop. No, it's cool. It's cool. It's cool. It's cool. And Mama, I hope you're happy. I hope you're happy. I promise you. I promise you. I hope you're happy. It don't even matter.
You gotta
stop back. What you talking about?
Oh my God.
It's good. It's good. Mama, I'm disappointed. Mom, I'm disappointed. I'm disappointed.
And what's going to happen to your life when they leave? Will you have given up your marriage for your children and have nothing left? You put your marriage first. You're not doing anything bad for your children. You're doing everything good for your children. Your children feel more secure when you're happy. And they see you happy marriage. Number two, when they see you happily married, you're giving them a vision for their future. Even if there's been problems in the past, they can see a vision of hope for their future. Number three, when they leave, you have a stable life and you won't follow them around because you're emotionally needy.
A person who's divorced tends to gravitate and hold on to the child with everything. And so my pull to him was probably pretty unhealthy because he was, in my words, all that I had. And so it was really hard to bring Charles in. Even though it sounded nice, we're gonna get married, we're gonna be a happy family, it's gonna be daddy. It didn't really work out that way. And I really had to walk through some challenges to make the shift and say, okay, he can't be first. This is not gonna work. Really good trial and error. Because putting him first wasn't working. It was causing conflict in our relationship.
I came in with the attitude of, I'm the head, I'm the husband, this is my son, my stepson, so everybody needs to follow my lead. But before I got there, they had been together by themselves, I think, for 4 years already. And so it caused a lot of friction in our marriage between us, and then it began to cause friction between me and him. And then ultimately, at one point in our marriage, it was me versus them. And so kind of like a mama bear, just, fought any and everything that got close to that relationship. Our behavior and our mindsets totally had to shift. And we had to really reprioritize mentally the roles as far as, okay, it's God, then it's us, and then it's him, and then help him walk through that.
All right, brothers, what say you?
I say that woman haircut was fucked up. That's what I say. I say she need a new barber, stylist. She should just cut her head off, start something. And if anything was causing friction in that damn marriage, is that goddamn haircut she had. I tell you that right now.
You ain't gotta like it. She got a husband next to her that like it.
Something wrong with that nigga if she don't understand his wife's head ain't supposed to look like that, goddamn.
Okay, before y'all get into it, I wanna shout out Antonio Miller's in the house. Cynthia Davis is in the house. My girl Keela B is in the house. Now, Cynthia said that she's a girl and her parents wanted her to stay at home because referencing the video of the guy that was saying that his stepson needs to get out because he's 29 years old. Keela says, I can see it both ways. I don't like that people come in and try to regulate other people's children. Everyone is trying to adjust. So what do you guys say? Based on what we just saw, we saw conflict between the step parents. What do you guys think?
All of them need to be slapped.
We know that's what you think.
Good.
I have an issue with a couple of them because if it's one thing to disrespect a child or a stepchild, you just blatantly disrespect them. These kids, man, they mouthing off, talking tough, doing all this. That pastor is right. When you get married, it's God, it's the child, it's your spouse, then it's the kid.
Mm-hmm.
That's the foundation of the marriage.
Mm-hmm.
And for my man at the end telling I'm your son, he sound like Jody on Baby Boy.
Really?
I'm your son. Man, take your grown butt on. It's like I said, it's one thing if the step parent is treating the child like a redheaded stepchild. That's one thing. What we saw was a bunch of entitled, disrespectful kids talking to a step parent like they somebody on the street.
Grown babies.
Yeah, and if you got all that mouth, go get your own, and you can do what you want to do. Steve Harvey is right. I'm paying for these Jordans. I'm paying for. Let's see you talk to me when I say run all that off your back.
Right.
You want to disengage? Go disengage in your own house, and you can do you.
Yeah.
That right there to me is like that's total disrespect as opposed to what Chris went through. That's total disrespect. That's a whole lot of a kid talking sideways to the parent, and the parent is saying, "Look here, this is my man said it. This is my house. This is our house. This is ours. You ain't got no say so in ours, and you're not gonna pin your mother against me when we on a united front."
Right.
That's just it, man.
The messed up part is he thinks that there is a way to equate his relationship with his mother with the relationship with that man and his wife.
Right.
That's just
it's not you right, because it's not equal at all.
Yeah.
And he really thinks comparison at all. Period.
Right. So, but let me say this. We get tons of comments, but I want to say something to Keela real quick. Keela says she don't like when people come in and talk regulate other people's children. But Keela, let me ask you this: when you are married to a man who has a daughter and the daughter gets in your face and call you the B word, I mean, that's time for some Warren G regulation, friend, if you ask me. So let me know if I'm off base in your question. I mean your comment. So let me just say this, and then we go because I want to get to what Chris has to say about this. Cynthia says, Damon, I thought the same thing, Baby Boy movie. And she also says, you have to have respect all the way around. And then Keela says there should be no comparison at all. Now, are you talking about the comparison in relationships, what I just said? Because the relationship between a man and wife is way higher than the relationship between parent and kids. Chris,
it's much more sacred.
It is, definitely. Chris, what's up, man? Did you identify with anything there?
The thing is,
he put your ass on the spot, don't he?
No, he ain't put me on the spot. I was ready for it because I was ready to talk. I just respect y'all and let y'all do what y'all do. But at the end of the day, in my situation, he came in and it's just like my mom just let him do what he do. Put drinks up, put food up, hide in his room. You know what I'm saying? Where You know, I'm working. I ain't did nothing wrong to this man. You know what I'm saying? And it's like there's a difference when I understand marriage is first, but then when you come in and then you putting him before me in this aspect. You putting him before me in this aspect where me and you had a relationship, and then you bring him in and you act like you don't know me because whatever he say go. And then I understand the boys' frustration when they going into how he going into the father and saying this and this and this. I'm not saying it's right, but I understand it. This is why I understand it. With me, I had him. I told you about the car. He told me I got a car for you. I come back 30 days later. He talking about you got a car note. Not only did he tell me I had a car note, but he also said we going half on it, right? Now at first I'm like, half is good. Okay, that's showing responsibility. I have no problem with that. Okay, it is what it is. But when I'm paying you half, but then when I find a bill and saying that you actually get money off me, that the bill ain't even half, you're actually making money off me, that's the problem. So the difference that I did instead of them boys reacting to him is I just gave him the keys back. I'm not about to disrespect you. But and another thing I didn't like is how he was making my mama feel. How he was, you know what I'm saying? How I can tell that my mama was just being with him because she was lonely. That's the part that hurt. So we got to understand too that these kids, they anger at these people. And we ain't saying it's good for them to disrespect them like that. But you got to understand the hurt. It might be something that man has done to his mother where she is accepting this man, and he knows he's living in there. And he's seeing what this man is doing to that woman, his mother. You know what I'm saying? I could have went that whole route. I had all that anger inside me too, but I still respected him because, like the pastor said, marriage comes before. So I'm going to respect it. If my mama like it, but I don't like it, guess what? I got on. I left.
You left home?
I left.
So let me ask you this, Chris. You said your mama pushed you to the side. In what way? What example do you have?
Not intentionally. Not intentionally, you know. But when I come in, it's like, okay, now you got. Mind y'all, I'm a kid still in high. I'm a teenager in high school, y'all.
Yeah.
Playing sports, got good grades, and working to build up and save money.
Yeah.
To the point now it's like, but I need you to put this much on rent. Not only just the rent, but also the car note that
car you didn't even ask for.
That I didn't even ask for. Them are the things I'm saying where it's put me on the back. We talked about, your son got goals that you can't fulfill. That my dad fulfilled before he passed away. But we're not gonna go to that topic because me and my mama talked about that, and I forgave her for that. Saying I'm not putting that on. I'm not putting that on here. But my dad fulfilled a lot of things for me, but then I had to regroup because of mistakes that was made. And then I had to rebuild and work.
Right.
So it ain't like you got a child that's not doing nothing.
I got you. I got you. You and Damon are the kind of if you want to call it stepsons that I would love to have. I got a stepson that was just so spoiled that the word no was like slapping him in the face. He just went berserk when you told him no. And because people got out of his way, and he expected everybody to get out of his way, and there was nobody that actually put hands on him. The only time I had to put hands on him, right after that time, respect was there. He didn't like me, but he respected me, which was quite the opposite of his mother. He loved his mother, but he didn't respect her.
Yeah, and what you're saying in your situation is why it's the same as mine, is because actually it's the opposite. She put you out the way. She threw you out the way. So basically, it wasn't marriage before her kids. She threw you out the way. So it was reversed. That's the way you felt is how I felt.
That's what I'm saying.
That's the part that hurts. So that's the only reason why I say I kind of get the kids' frustration. And I think Antonio Miller said that they were grown and disrespectful. But I will also look at the part in looking at in their shoes where it's like, what were they angry for though?
Mm-hmm.
Well,
I'll say this.
You know what I'm
I'll
saying?
say this. You never really know coming in. You never really know what was really going on, right? Because she ain't gonna tell you but so much anyway. And depending on what was going on with the previous daddy, I mean, it could be that that the child really wanted their daddy to be there. The mama didn't want the daddy around. She go get some other dude. Now it's like, well, I don't want you around. You not my daddy. I want my daddy. But my mama ain't allowing that to happen. So it's a lot of little factors and things that can happen to make the kids get angry and this, that, and the other. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I mean, if it's a good guy and the mama lets the children know, look, this is what's happening now.
Yep.
You know, and he gonna love you and care about you. I still love you. I'm gonna protect you like always, but we're gonna follow his lead.
And I'm gonna if he break your neck because you call me a B, then so be it.
Your neck should get broke.
Art, you nailed it. I look at it from a perspective too. If you have that relationship, because it is a lot of relationships out there that the man is walking into something he has no idea what he's walking into, and the woman does not give him all the information he needs to come in, not so hard, but to come in knowing, okay, you took this kid away from his father, so he's angry that his father's not around. I know how to tiptoe around that to make him feel like I'm not trying to replace your dad. I'm here to help you.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Yes.
So
you can even help the boy go see his father, help the child see their parents.
Exactly.
You know, you can advocate. You can advocate.
How would you know that? How would you know that if the mother is not telling you anything?
Exactly, because she may feel like the best thing is for you not to know. You know what I'm saying? It's like he going out. I'm sorry, y'all, but make you feel like it ain't gonna come back.
You ain't dark, man. You good? You ain't dark.
I feel like this. I feel like this because I listening to Chris. I hear the other side. All I'm saying in that point. It's still your mother. Mm-hmm. You still have to show her the respect. Just like you said, Chris, I gotta do all this for this car. Yeah, man, I'm straight. I don't need it. Yeah. I'm not gonna argue with you about it. Mm-hmm. I'm good because I don't want the drama in my life making myself miserable, and I gotta live here as a teenager, go play my sports, go to work, do this, do that. That's hard on a child too.
Yes.
And that's why a lot of them act out because of it. That's why it's good to sit down with the man and say, look, his father and I had issues. He was close to his dad. Let's look at it from this standpoint. And then you can put the type of hat on you need to put on to make the kid feel comfortable, make him feel like, okay, he ain't trying to replace my dad. Mm-hmm. And he really trying to see if I want to see my pop. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of things that can be handled. I just feel like certain types of disrespect is non-negotiable.
Oh yeah,
right.
Yeah.
You don't come at your mama like that, dude.
No, not
you
at
don't
all.
come at your mama like that. You don't come at. I was taught, and like I say, my cousin knows. I was taught all elders were shown respect. Period.
Right. Exactly.
Whether I didn't like it or not, they got my utmost respect. Right. And if I was wrong, I walked out the room. Even if I was right, I walked out the room. I talked to my mama like, why did I go this and that? I didn't disrespect anybody. Mm-hmm. What's wrong with that? Instead of, you ain't my daddy, this and that. I know you angry. There's a way you can go to your mama and say, hey, this ain't cool. Mm-hmm. I'd rather fall back. This is your husband, your new guy. I ain't trying to do all that. Mm-hmm. That's what makes me mad about a lot of that. But I mean, hearing Chris, I understand there are two sides of the story.
And can I say something? And I hear what you're saying, Damien, but you also got them stepdads too that want to run their mouth.
Of course.
You know what I'm saying? That even when you do try to be that perfect son and try not to say, they push your buttons to the
exactly. I agree with that.
Now it's like I'm protecting my mama and I'm protecting me now because
I agree.
You in here and you running your mouth.
Yeah, I agree.
You know what I'm saying? And it's like, okay, now what we gonna do? You know,
you are absolutely correct, Chris.
Chris, that's the act. That's the scenario in the movie 8 Mile. Keela's boy Eminem.
Yeah.
He was protecting his mama from her
Right.
boyfriend.
Yeah. Right.
He wasn't the disrespectful kid. He was just trying to work like you, Chris. You know, he came on Bad Times. Can I stay with y'all? And he was this was the stepfather that was running his mouth. Always got an opinion. Always putting her down, putting him down, fighting in front of children and all that stuff. And he was like, you know, I can't just sit here just because I'm living here and let you dog my mama.
Mm-hmm.
And I understand that. I totally understand that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So let me get to these comments real quick. So Keela says, I've never had that happen. I've always gotten along with my significant other's children, and he cherishes her daughter. So I can't relate. Antonio Miller says the clips that were shown these kids were grown and were very disrespectful. Keela says, I have seen men come in and try to put their foot down. They're the man and have caused issues in some of my friends' relationships. Antonio Miller says, I understand you, Chris, because you were a child and you shouldn't have to be put in those predicaments as a child. Keela says, I have friends I have friends that had tried to come in and put their foot down trying to prove that there's a man. Oh, she revised her comment. The men carry some insecurity sometime as well, trying to establish dominance. Wow, that's a good point.
I don't know about that one. Now I don't know about that trying to establish dominance. I mean, it's plenty of different ways you can look at it, and sometimes, you know, what a woman may call dominance is just the man's natural place because they're not used to it. So I mean, you know, I don't know. I mean, I'm just saying using the word dominance is a little, I think, a little
strong.
Maybe a little strong.
Mm.
You know, maybe a little strong because, like I said, it's about perception too. You know what I'm saying? Because every woman is not equipped for the situation neither. You know what I'm saying? If we're talking about a perfect world where the woman know what she need to do and the man know what he need to do and they know their place, that's one thing.
Mm-hmm.
But if the man or the woman is not totally equipped for the situation, this is where we have all these miscommunications and things of that sort, especially when it comes down to the children. Ultimately, when it comes down to the children.
Right.
You know? I was going to say in the beginning anyway. In the beginning, there should be some type of communication between that man and that woman as far as how we're going to raise my child.
Right. Arranged marriages, yeah.
Oh God, we back on this.
We ain't going on that. No, we ain't going there.
But you know, but Art, you know, when we first before we got on the show, you said one thing to me, and I know you was joking and everything. You was like, "Why are you on this? How you get on this show?" You know, you was joking, but I take that as a joke and I take that serious because of this right here. Why I want to be on this show for this topic right here is because this is the same reason what made me and my mom fall out. Is the stepfather, the people that I was allowed in her life, where I was trying to protect my mom, but I was damaging me and her relationship, her and I relationship. And, you know, this is after I was grown. This is like, you know, it wasn't my teenage years. This is after. Like, I'm like, you got to watch who you got to have in your life because people just, you know, trying to use you just to be in your, you know what I'm saying? Just to, they ain't got nowhere to go. You know what I'm saying? Or they just, I mean, I'm gonna be honest. They just using my mom as, you know what?
They there for the pudding. Yeah, they there for the pudding in the pie. Yeah.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? And you know what I'm saying? I'm not, you know, I love my mama and me and her finally had a great talk about it. And, you know, I moved on from it and I told mama, whatever make you happy is what makes me happy. And I had to learn that inside. I had to fight that, you know, for myself to say, okay, I can't keep fighting for someone that don't want to be fought for. Right. You know what I'm saying? So, with that said, a lot of them kids, man, that we seen in the videos, they just, you grown, get up out of there. You know, find your way to get up out of there. Don't, you know, that's at the end of the day, the pastor was still right. The marriage part come first.
Marriage
No matter
how
this man was acting, that man, that's who your mama chose.
Yeah.
And it hurts.
But the main thing is that if they're acting right in the marriage, if roles are what they're supposed to be, and you know what I'm saying, and let's say the man he knows what to expect when he's coming in. The woman was forthcoming about what the situation was with the children and whatnot. I mean, because you really got to tell a man, like, you know, if you got a child and he might burn some shit down, you might want to say something. I mean, you know what I'm saying? I mean, just you have it. Sometimes, you know, I guess you kind of just don't want your business in the street, or maybe you don't want the guy to look bad at you, like you a bad parent. But if y'all coming together to raise these children, then definitely certain things need to be discussed. Like Kelly said, like from the jump, you know what I'm saying? Things got to be discussed, and just okay, where are we at? Where are we at with these kids, and where do we need to go, and how do we get there? You know what I'm saying? And what do you need to do? What do you need to explain to them? What do I need to explain to them? You know what I'm saying? But again, everybody is not totally equipped for that type of situation unless you've been learned like a young gentleman like myself, and you understand how life is supposed to go. Then this is where we have those issues. You know what I'm saying? And considering that we had all these broken homes, it's just rampant now.
Yeah. In my experience, before I got married, we did do marital counseling, and we brought up and we talked very candidly about how I was raised, so therefore that's how I raised my children, and she talked about hers, and then she said to me, well, I do have a son who, you know, my son gets kind of out of the way, and I think he needs a man to straighten him out. That's what she said. But when that man came into his life and straightened him out, oh, wait a minute, that's not how I want it done.
She didn't realize what that really was and what that really meant and what it looked like. You know what I'm saying? And that's one thing too, as far as the young lady who used that particular word. I think, you know, it be the fear of what manhood really is sometimes too, that kind of get in the way of women allowing men to do what they need to do. And just like when you see like the daddy lion and he messing with the cubs, you might think he being a little too rough, but no, he's not.
Not at all. Because
you know what I'm saying?
We know what boys can put up with. We know when it's not abuse. Well, some people don't, but well-to-do men who are men, they know. Because look at this. If your son dogs you out and becomes a spoiled brat man, and he goes into the army, where there's no way he can escape the discipline, he's going to get dishonorably discharged because he's still a little boy, because there was no man to point him to manhood. And I always use this example. The beginning of the movie Roots, 1977, Alex Haley Roots, they take the boys away from the mamas into the village and teach them survival tactics, because they know if they do it in the village, the mama's going to be like, oh my God, my baby fell down. Oh my God. They take them away from that. So the mamas understand, I won't be able to see my son fall on his face, get body slammed by a grown man. So it won't, you know, but when they come back, they're tough. And that is the reason. And it's funny because when Kunta Kinte came back from being from training, he got his necklace, he got everything. And he was, his grandmother told him, I need you to go make a drum for your brother. I need you to do it now. This woman just kept nagging at him. And instead of using what he learned and telling his grandmother, Ma, I got to do what I got to do first. I'll make his drum. He went out immediately to make a drum and got caught by slave catchers. I'm not blaming women, but all I'm saying is he spent all that time being training and didn't fall back on his training. I thought that was telling. Let me get to these comments real quick. Keela says, exactly. By the way, Keela, I got us a little surprise for you in the next video. Keela says, exactly. Respect should be given at both ends. It's not a perfect world. Some men do try to establish dominance. Men that aren't sure where they belong. Now, Cynthia came over with a question. She says, how long would you date a woman? And talking about marriage, when do you meet the child or children?
Read it again.
That's a case by case answer. She says, how long would you date a woman? And when you're talking about marriage, and when do you meet the children?
That's case by case, man.
Yeah, that's case by case.
Yeah.
Because you don't, if you know that this ain't gonna work after a couple of dates, ain't no need to meet the children. Ain't no need to talk about marriage.
I mean,
Well,
I say
I would
after,
say
I wouldn't
this.
even say a couple of days. I say longer than that because some guys don't show their true colors until later on. So
later on, right?
Hey, a couple of
Well,
days.
let me say this. Let me say this. If you dating with the purpose of getting married, then of course the man gonna know that she got kids, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I would say the first 3 to 6 months, it's well, can we actually be married? You know what I'm saying? Can we really get there? And if you figure out that you can, then here comes the introductions. I would say that's what I would say. Maybe 3 to 6 months, depending on how fast or slow they going.
I think that's rather soon.
You think?
Yeah, I think that's soon. Because to me, you shouldn't even be thinking about marriage unless you've been dating for 2 years, because that's 2 years. All the skeletons are open. You can see what makes them mad, what makes them emotional, what insecurities they have after 2 years. And your kids can know about this guy that you're dating, but hey, it's case by case.
At that point, how old are the kids? I mean, are you talking about some
that's another
4-5-year-olds? Or are you talking about some teenagers? Or are you talking about adult kids? Where do you at with that?
Right. But so Cynthia says, I'd rather have a grown man raise my son / children than a wimp of a man. And then Keila says, it depends on the couple when it's talking about how long will you date. And she said it was 6 months before her daughter met her friend. So yeah, that's the deal. Now check this out. Let me ask this question. How do you think specifically stepfathers are perceived in the media, i.e. movies, television and all of that? What is being pushed out about stepfathers in that arena, in your opinion?
Well, for what I've seen, stepfather's been pushing in a good way.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I've seen.
What are the examples of a good stepfather on TV or in the movies?
Basically, you got a single mom, with like 2 or 3 kids. What's that one movie? I forgot that name of the movie. But a single mom with 3 kids, and then the stepdad, not stepdad, but a guy come in showing that he's willing to be with the woman, and he know what comes with it. You know what I'm saying? And he shows that he's in it with the kids, and then they show later on that he's become a father than their own real father. You know what I'm saying? That you see a lot of those, especially in black movies.
Well, I mean, in TV, they gotta do some. They can't go really, really raw on TV. So they got to do the Cosby Show. Everybody got to have a happy ending on TV.
No, we're talking TV or movie.
Oh,
TV. Oh, okay. Well, movie. I'm talking about
yeah.
Majority,
but
is that what I see
in my research, stepfathers has been getting the boot. Somebody that's just trying to do well with a crooked stepfather. Then in the Baby Boy, you had 2 good brothers who was just in a battle, just in territorial battle. And then you had kids in the first clip, which is called Stepfather. They were onto something crooked about the stepfather, and they were just trying to tell their mom. And at the end, Jody and his mama's boyfriend got along. So somebody grew up and came to an understanding.
I gotta disagree with the 8 Mile one though.
Really?
Yeah. This is why.
Why?
The mother was using the stepfather for his money. That's why she was with him.
Okay.
So that's why Eminem was mad, because she was being with him because she knew he was gonna pay her mortgage or her rent because she was behind. So that one, that was kind of iffy.
Okay. Okay. But still, Eminem was not the cause of him,
Exactly.
Other fights. That's what
Right.
I was trying to get to.
I got you.
All right.
Well, you know what, Hightower, I'll say this because, I feel like the movies made the stepfathers look like punks, really.
Yeah, I agree.
I think they do because, like, in the first clip I think the first one was the white family.
Mm-hmm.
And the boy went to mouth off, and then he was like, "No, it's okay,"
Mm-hmm.
And then the other daddy come in there acting crazy, and it seemed like to me like it shows the weakness in the stepfather's position.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I see in the movies.
Mm-hmm.
Because like, what real power do you have? It's like the woman had to step up and be like, "Stop, get out, you're a cheater," and all this. And all the time the woman got to step in because that stepfather role is a little weak. And that's what I see most of the movies,
Well, be that as it may, what happened, what my point is, in showing these super long clips, I didn't really realize they was long. That's probably why YouTube kicked us off, because all that copyright infringement. But when I put the thing up in the beginning saying it's for commentary purposes anyway, you got to have a specific kind of relationship or people in these relationships to make these blended families work. You got to have a stepdad with a lot of patience, because you're gonna have to have these kids coming in with all these foreign ideas about what that's gonna be about. You got to have a woman that's gonna have your back, and I'm also talking about the reverse when a woman comes into a step parenting situation, and you got to have respect. I think Keela and Cynthia said the same thing. You got to have respect on all ends, even if you don't disagree. You got to have respect. So if you had that combination, I think you add to the survivability of that marriage. If you don't, like Damon was saying, Damon always respected him, and he did something and he got the fist in the chest. Then it was like, well, I don't want that. I don't want that anymore. Chris had the situation where this was put upon him, and he still did his little thing respectfully, even if he had to leave. So something in both of these situations, somebody had to grow up. And in Damon's case, it was Damon, and then in Chris's case, it seemed like it was his stepfather. In my case, I had to, the person that I had to grow up was my wife, because sometimes a boy needs to hit a brick wall in order to grow up, and she was like, before her son would hit a brick wall, she would tear it down. So hey man, this has been like a whole 10 minutes over, and maybe because of my long clip, so I apologize for that, but we got to hit our takeaways. Chris, since you are our guest today, what's your takeaway from today's show?
My takeaway for today is, hopefully, this helps someone, that's probably going through this situation. Right now, actually, my takeaway, it helped me. I was able to vent, a little bit more on my situation. I mean, even though, me and my mom, we squashed our stuff, but just to talk about it in the man cave, man, that's what the man cave all about, man. And was able to be on here with you guys, man. And
we love you, Chris.
I watch every one of y'all shows, man. That's why I was able to clap back.
we love you, Chris. We love you.
But I appreciate y'all putting me on the show, man. And
no doubt, bro.
Yeah, you fit in right. You fit in exactly what we do here. Damon, what's your takeaway of today's show?
I learned a little bit, man. I learned a different perspective, especially listening to Chris. I always knew it was always this story, that story, and then in the middle is where the truth lie. So listening to Chris, watching some of them clips, the role of what I learned, the role of a stepfather is intense. That's the main thing I got of it. It's very intense, and it's very it could be dangerous if you make the wrong decision.
Yep.
So to you know, mad respect to my pop, man. Mad respect to him because he handled it the way the way he thought. And at the end, I had to look at it and talk to him and say, yeah, he did handle it the right way. I had to put my feelings aside and realize what he was going through to try to make me feel comfortable.
Yes.
So it's an intense job, man. And I'm glad I'm done having kids. I ain't got to worry about it. That's the best thing I got out of it.
Kelly, what you got, sir?
Oh, well, for anybody who's out there that's with blended families, the only thing I can say, the only thing I got to say on it, talk, listen, communicate. And that's from stepmother, stepfather, stepchild, whatever. Talk, listen, communicate. Make sure everybody can be on the same page. It's not going to happen all the time. But, you know, the more you talk to them and the more you listen and speak from the heart, not from your mind, you might come up with something good.
Right.
Listening to you guys on here that had problems with stepchildren, I couldn't imagine it. You know, because I know my attitude, first and foremost.
Yeah.
I would have been like Baby Boy or Eminem trying to fuck somebody up right quick.
Yeah, right.
But yeah, you know, just I wish them all the best. That's it, because it is.
Hey, Aaron.
Yeah.
Hey, Aaron, after Art finished, I got one more thing to say. I ain't gonna take long, I promise. But if you don't mind.
Yeah. Uncle Art, what you taking away?
Blended families is it's hard, man.
Yeah.
You know, and from the child's perspective, they can't be sure who to trust all the time. And from the stepfather's perspective, he may not really know exactly what to expect from the children himself.
Yeah.
You know, and trying to get over that hump with somebody who ain't related to you is difficult. So you got the same DNA. The communication is different. You know, the kids can kind of pick up on you better, you know, but when it's not to make it sound bad, but when it's a strange child, a child that's not yours, you know, it's wavelength you got to be on and operate on.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And then if you have children in the house and some are yours and some aren't, you know, being able to be able to flip flop, I guess, for lack of a better way of saying it, you know, it can get a little rough, man. And I would just say, you got to have your head on straight from the children. If there's a woman who wants to date a man and got some children, you better make sure that you got your head on straight. Pick the right guy. If you that guy, make sure the woman got her head on straight.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because them kids been with her, and you got to make sure you know what they got from her before you can get up in there and fix. All you know about her is what she feel like. You don't know what she really think or how she really operate or what she teach her children. So, I mean, you know, I would say y'all got to watch y'all asses out there. That's what I would say. Because it ain't nothing to play with.
Nah.
I'm sorry. You got to spend time with your stepchild. Spend time with them so you can get to know them and they can get to know you. You got to do it. Because if you don't, you're going to lose.
That's real.
Yeah. All right, Chris, what you got?
Real quick. When I lost my father, I hated him because of the situation that happened because I didn't understand. I went to the hospital when he was on the ventilator. My dad was a heavy set person, but on the ventilator, he flattened. And I got there and I apologized to him for hating him before he left. And I saw a tear come down. And then after I left that room, after I apologized, it's like my dad was waiting on me and he passed away. I say that to say this. I'm not going to lose my mother the same way. where I'm going to allow her mistakes to mess up me and her relationship, where I will hate her like I did my father. You know what I'm saying? It was a lesson learned with that. You know what I'm saying? Where I will always love my mama no matter what. So anybody, always love your mother, your father, because you don't know when that day is gonna come.
That's right.
So
Yeah.
that's
Wow. That was deep. I should have just let you wrap the show up with that. But for me, I want to hit you guys with these stats. 60 to 70% of all marriages are blended. The divorce rate for a second marriage is 65%, and it increases with every marriage. The third marriage divorce rate is 73%.
Now you figure shit out, huh?
I can't hear you. What do you say? Your audio went out.
It did.
Sound like a robot. But
okay,
I'll say this about myself. If I were to do it over, like I said, I would count up the cost. I would have a little bit more patience with these kids, because they're kids. But I don't regret snatching them. I just it was a buildup, because I would go to the mom and say, "Listen, this is what we're dealing with. We can't let this slide." And she would always persuade me to let it slide, which made me build up. But in hindsight, I should have just relaxed and to see what she was going to do. I always thought she took too long. Anyway, would I do it again? No. I think I had way more patience back then than I do now. So I don't want to go through that no more. I did it, got the t-shirt, keychain. I don't want to do that no more. But God bless anybody who goes into that kind of situation, because it's a special kind of man that will step in and be a man and a father to kids who need it. So God bless.
Do it the right way.
And do it the right way. Yes, right. So right now, I'm just enjoying being by myself. So, and we have come to an extended version of the Man Cave. Again, we want to thank Chris of the group Just Right for joining us. I know this ain't gonna be the last time you join us. I want to thank my brothers that's always there for me, Kelly, Damon, who's in marital bliss, Art, who comes down and cut down trees, and we got to get in the backyard. I know you ain't know that, but now you know. And
give me some money.
You still sound like a computer, man. So, oh yeah, I got you covered. So, and I want to thank everybody who made a comment. Keela B, Cynthia, who was that? Antonio Miller, and everybody who joined us that didn't comment. I want to thank you guys and invite you back next time we have a show. That's the end of this one. Y'all be cool. God bless.